Hello, I'm Dr. Jay Moore with Unifour Life and Retirement, and today I have two very special guests. We have Miss Christine John Fuller and Meredith Willis of the Alzheimer's Association. And today they're going to be talking about Alzheimer's. It's a big hot topic, especially right here in the Unifour of Hickory, North Carolina, and also about the upcoming Alzheimer's Walk we're going to be having in October. So, Christine, we could start with you, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So we're elated to be here. You know, we serve the entire state of North Carolina. You know, individuals hear about the name the Alzheimer's Association, and that carries a lot of knowledge and weight, and we're very proud of the fact that people recognize the association as a trusted resource in our area. But sometimes I don't know if they realize that this means boots on the ground, care and support services here within our own backyard. And so we have two chapters here in North Carolina, and we serve the entire state of North Carolina. We have staff that are embedded across the state that really every single day are here to be able to take care of families who are impacted by the disease. So we're super excited about the fact that we're able to kind of tell you a little bit today about the association, about what we do and how we can support families, and then how we kind of fund that mission.
Outstanding. I think Alzheimer's is something that we could probably all raise our hand and say, you know what, somebody in our family or somebody we know has been affected by Alzheimer's, at least at some point in our lives.
Yo, you're exactly right. I mean, we use it as a joke, but it's not obviously necessarily a joke, which is we all have a brain. Some days maybe we feel that way more than others, right?
Exactly.
But the biggest risk factor that we have is that we all have a brain. So obviously there's always the possibility that any of us could develop the disease. So what we always want to make sure that we are doing is helping support those that need us most to understand if, you know, the risk factors from that standpoint, and then help them through the journey. But here in North Carolina alone, we've got about 180,000 individuals who are living with a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease, and they're kind of taken care of by friends and family that make up about 369,000 individuals just here in North Carolina that are essentially impacted by the disease, either living with or caring for someone that has received a diagnosis.
Right. Question, Christine. Alzheimer's, you know, we've heard a lot about it, but who can get it? I mean, is it something that's hereditary? Is it something that, you know what, these are some habits or eating habits, foods you can stay away from to prevent from getting Alzheimer's? Who could it attack?
You know, we were talking earlier about, before we came on air, right, about breakfast and what we did and didn't have, right? All those things kind of play into that. And so what I would tell you is this, you know, Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, so a lot of people are not sure about the differentiation between the two, but Alzheimer's accounts for about 60 to 80% of dementia cases. And with that, outside of us all having a brain, the next highest risk factor is age and aging into that. However, age is not necessarily the case. So about 200,000 cases a year, individuals that are under the age of 65 that are diagnosed with the disease. And it's really important to know that more and more research is showing that things that you just talked about, lifestyle interventions, can really make a difference in reducing the risk to diagnosis and developing the disease, that there are things that we can do now. So yes, we want to equip ourselves with information on maybe the signs of the disease, the warning signs that we should be looking for, but also what are some of those healthy habits that we can be taking. So I'm happy to share either of those if you want me to.
Please. You know, we've always heard, for example, if we talk about cancer, you know, what can contribute to cancer? Well, the number one thing somebody will say, well, smoking. Okay. But still yet, you can be a non-smoker your entire life, you can eat healthy, and you could still get diagnosed with cancer. Alzheimer's, what's something that we could probably do if somebody's looking and say, you know what, I've seen one of my relatives go through that. What can I do to prevent that? More exercise, healthy eating, what can maybe keep my mind? I've always heard as we get, I don't want to say older, more mature, more seasoned, to keep my mind active by doing crossword puzzles, for an example, or things like that, remedies or preventions from Alzheimer's.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, so we talk about kind of these ways that we can do healthy body, healthy brain type of activities from that standpoint. You mentioned several of them right off the bat. So obviously quitting smoking, breaking a sweat, so heart healthy activities, heart healthy diet. So again, not necessarily just a Mediterranean diet, but that kind of diet is a great example of things that we are seeing even through research in our own backyard is really supportive of reducing the risk. It doesn't mean that we are completely eliminating, but that we are reducing the risk to do those things. So any of those pieces that we can do, staying cognitively active. This week I've been to several bridge tournaments that were fundraisers for us in which we had individuals that are stimulating their brain through the strategy of playing bridge. That's great brain health activity. And they're doing it while they're socializing. So, Meredith, right? Yep. You were on a family vacation just recently and there was lots of socializing going on.
Lots of socializing. And I tell people too, if you're at home, you can't get out, but turn the TV on. Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, things like that, to where you can actually interact with the game show as well too, just to keep your mind going too.
So the game shows are pretty good. I've always watched The Price is Right.
There you go.
I mean, it's just it keeps you guessing, right? Not that you just want that prize or you want that new car, but you want to play the game and maybe win. And that's how some of I guess the contestants got on the show because they were fans of it. They applied, got on the show, and that's how that transpired. So it's unique.
Yeah. So think about it from like stumping and challenging yourself, right? So they're asking you questions and you're cognitively thinking through what the answer to that might be. That's a great example. We tell people one of the great ways is to continue to learn something new, whether that is, learning a new hobby, maybe taking a class of some sort, maybe you want to learn how to do a certain craft, or you want to cook something new, or, maybe it's a sourdough bread baking class or something of the sort from that standpoint. Those are great ways to learn new skills, which keeps your mind active.
Board games, I guess, would be one, too. That would be a good one.
Senior centers are a great way for seniors to get involved, too. There's lots of activities, lots of crafts that they have going on, bingo, board games, card games like you mentioned, all of those things get them out socializing and getting their mind active.
You mentioned that, Meredith. I know we're part of Senior Information Resources where we had the senior ball, senior dance.
Yes. We
had just about a month ago. A lot of seniors involved. They did a lot of the senior activities, running and racing. You would think they were in some kind of Olympics right here in Hickory. But they all had a great time, and we capped it off with a good senior ball. So I think that kind of ties into keeping the brain active, right?
Absolutely. It's a perfect way. And again, also keeping the body active. Yesterday I was at an event where they had Motown music playing. All the residents were out there on the dance floor having a good time. And that is a great way to keep your body active. And once again, what's good for the body is good for the brain.